Mimas, a cold, lifeless rock in the middle of nowhere. Boy, I like it here. Alright, so a couple of things to update us on here. I'm gonna show you the code change I made to the gas fuel generator IC chip. Oh, I hadn't mentioned it before. IC stands for integrated circuit, if I could pronounce correctly. So it was a pretty easy change. I just added these 3 lines, well, one blank. We're loading from the GFG the power generation stat and storing that in R0. Now we're taking R0 and setting it into setting the setting. Wow. Um, setting variable of the dB of the housing in this instance. So right now it's 0. You can see if you mouse over it, it says IC housing state 0. But if this was on, it would actually show us how much power is being generated. I had kind of hoped to, you know, have some way of displaying that, but I didn't want an extra console. And then offline it occurred to me, well, why not just put it to the DB housing, or well, the IC housing. This one, I gotta load it because wrong button here. I gotta click the edit. Okay, so this one, I rearranged stuff. A lot of this stuff I had up above here, so the R15, and then I had set the ice crusher's state, etc. But I had noticed a bug where I turned on the filtration unit. It turned on the ice crusher, and then it turned off the filtration device because it has 16 megapascals in there, and well, this one doesn't matter because that one's 16. So it turned off the filtration device, but it didn't turn off the ice crusher. So I rearranged things so that it essentially only sets it once now. It sets the on state down here instead of setting it in 2 areas, up here and down here. And since I was rearranging things, I figured it'd make sense to make sure that, like the last thing we do is to turn off the filtration device. I don't think that would necessarily matter because I don't think it technically turns off until the tick has finished, but better safe than sorry. That's one thing I've learned about programming in the past is, don't make those kind of assumptions because computers like to do things that you don't expect. All right, I set up a portable tank here. Probably don't really need it, but that way we can use that nitrogen for our jetpacks if we so choose. Now, I think I said that this was going to be expansion episode. I wasn't positive, but yep, that's what we're going to kind of focus on here. I've got a few things I want to do first, though. Let's start printing these. These smart canisters are going to be for over there, the jetpack, or the nitrogen, which we're going to use as jetpack. And I think it's time for a battery upgrade. So we're going to print nuclear batteries. Bring those up here so I can kind of show you how ridiculous they are. Is that, yeah, 2.3 megawatts. And if we look at the station battery, that one is 3.6 megawatts. So one of these has about 2/3 the capacity, or yeah, about 2/3 the capacity of that whole battery. So fun times. Okay, let's paint these black. For now, we're just going to put the one in here And the one we're not going to be using, we'll put in here. Because I've got jetpack uh, fuel right now. Okay, looks like we haven't printed any nuclear batteries yet, but I'm just going to let them come out as they come out. All right. Now one thing about expansion is you need some steel. So I made a little bit of steel in advance. It's just, yeah, it's set to 500. So there we go. If I remember correctly, 14 stacks of steel. It's the largest batch of steel I've ever made. And I have no idea where to put it all. I thought it would be fun to start the episode with a gigantic print of steel. And I'm probably going to need it. Probably take me a couple of episodes to burn through it, but and for now we'll just put a lot of it down here. There we go. And yes, I did some more mining, obviously, with all that steel. Degassed all of the cobalt on this side. Oh, speaking of which, these aren't degassed, so let's go ahead and do that. Whoop. Hey, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to flick it on because it got stuck in there. And of course we filled that area with all that stuff. Okay, that one doesn't need to be on. Clear that. Oh, 1.53. Ah, okay, it's combusting because there's the cobalt had volatiles in it. So let's vent a little bit of that out. Just one of these so far? Jeez, they take a long time. Ooh, I think I'm actually going to put it in here because I think when it's turned off, it doesn't drain power. Oh, I think this just popped on. It's okay, it's trying to pop on. What's the deal? Oh, we got the tracker. I think it's probably too cold in there. Oh, I don't think I had mentioned I had to insulate these pipes down here and the ones on the other side here because they were making that chamber too cold. Okay, yeah, I think that's what's going on because I can see it's struggling with the temperature there. It's jumping from some negative number that I can't make out up to 25. Well, okay, that bit worked. Well, okay, for now we'll just shut this off. I'll debug that later. It looks like it's getting confused. It's switching itself on and off. That's not good. Okay, oh, we got everything out of there. Good. Another battery. This one I will, well, nope, I don't have room in there. Let's pile them in there for now. All right, let's grab some frames. I'm not going to weld all of these on screen, but I want to at least kind of get the general layout of the base down. And you can see I put a few fuel out already. So this is going to be a solid wall. I'm actually going to push these machines back a little bit and kind of condense them. I'm gonna get a setup for them. I'll probably use Cows Are Evil's IC controlled printer code, because then I can have a vending machine, and the vending machine will automatically distribute resources to the machines. It's a nice way of having it. I think I've got room there, so I'll have the vending machine here, and then I'll have the first 3 machines on this side. I'll keep a locker here. Of course, we're out a block here, because I think I'm gonna have a wall right along here. You can kind of place a wall on the edge of them. I suppose I can set down a frame so you can kind of see how they stick out a little bit. I like that look. But okay. So we've got that. That's going to be basically my manufacturing wing is going to be here. I won't weld that one yet till I get the tool printer moved. Let's see if I remember correctly. Yeah, we'll put this here, so we'll have a doorway here for the manufacturing room, and on this side is going to be kind of like the entrance, the main hall. It'll have a set of lockers for a lot of our building supplies and suit storage. Okay, these will be wall or frames. I might place another furnace over here, or perhaps the arc furnace. I'll have to see. On this planet, using an arc furnace might not be the best of ideas because it's such a power hog, and power is rather limited on this planet. So the base entrance is going to be here. It's going to be 3 wide. I'll put frames on that side as well. I'm not sure how far out it's going to be because I want to kind of finish this section. This section is going to be encased with frames as well, so I'm going to have a frame layer going all the way across the top here. That's why I've been careful not to put too much on kind of the second tier. And then once we get this probably right about here, I'll place another layer of frames, and that gives us room. Yeah, three wide. That seems good. This area here is going to be, as I said, frames above, so that I can do things like the mushrooms. And then out here, we're gonna move the solar panels. I'll probably expand the solar panels somewhat soon. That's a good thing for some of that steel. And then out here, I'm gonna have actual greenhouses, where I'll have windows rather than solid walls, so that it lets the light in. And obviously, I'll have to supplement them with grow lights to make sure that they get enough light to grow. Okay, so yep, this whole area is going to be floors as well. I'm not exactly sure how we'll divide them up. One of the rooms, as I said, is going to be the mushroom room. Another one of them will probably be the fertilizer. We're going to do fertilizer at some point. And all of this kind of depends. This series I'm probably not going to do as long as I would, say, a Mars run, because the power restrictions are going to be quite troublesome unless I can get like a ton of renewable power from those solar panels, or a ready supply of fuel for the GFG. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to turn this on. Oh, Haha, we ran the base out of power. Turned itself off. Oh, because there's no gas in it, I bet. Okay, so let's run a little bit of hot gas into here. Stirling engine. And that should give us a good boost. And yeah, it's this thing that's draining all of our power. So let's go ahead and power. Let's go ahead and pull that out. In fact, got a couple more. Good. Start that back up again, because since the power was severed for a bit, it okay, yeah, it's just switching it off and on again. Oh my goodness, somehow it got negative 110 in there. Well, this is actually kind of catastrophic. Yeah, I had mentioned that was kind of one of the problems, is that the cold air might be kind of too cold. I don't think that's exactly what I said, but oh yeah, that was why I had the one way. Yeah, so I was kind of explaining that, but I didn't anticipate having this kind of problem. Okay, there we go. It looks like it achieved critical mass on the temperature and then was able to stabilize it. Damn. Okay, well, we've got a little bit of power. Back to designing, because that's the main goal here. So, all right. Yep, our main hall here. I'm thinking, don't necessarily hold me to it, but I'm thinking this here is going to be the main entrance, right where that gap is, because it'll be nicely in line with that line of frames. The greenhouse will come out and it'll have just windows on the outside. It won't have a frame barrier. And frames is kind of overkill. The main reason why I like to segment my base with frames is in case I have cable. If I were to have just a wall barrier, if there was cables on the inside, or for machines on the inside here, and I came over here and wanted to wire something up on this side, I'd have to contend with wires being on essentially both sides of the wall. Okay, let's put that stuff away. Over here somewhere, I might make it right in line with the door here just for symmetry. Over here will be my trade area, and I've designed something for that a couple times now. So we're gonna do a 4 by 4 frame support here, and I'm only going to weld those once because eventually anyway, I'll place the large satellite dish here and allow the components to kind of peek in through the wall, so that I can cable it up and I can control it from inside. All right, how are we doing on frames? Okay, so yep, that's going to be where the large dish goes when we get to that point anyway. And this whole room here will be for stuff related to True Trade. The computer that needs to be hooked up, the vending machine, but I'll probably let I'll probably have a cable running out to the data and power, because I'm probably going to have another frame layer right here. How are we doing? Right in line. Okay. So there we go. That'll probably be the entrance to the landing pad on the inside here. And as things go, I might create a pressurized environment. I'm going to want a pressurized environment for at least a little bit, for the 6x6 traders. The different traders require different sizes of landing pads. And the ones that are 6x6, some of them, from what I've seen, most of them, actually require a pressurized atmosphere for the trader to come out of the ship, because they're human. A lot of the traders send out a robot, whereas the 6x6s often send an actual human to trade with you, and they don't use a suit, so that's why it needs oxygen. Okay, so that's kind of the general layout of this floor, because I plan to have a floor above here, which is why I've got the frames here. This floor is going to be probably on this side will be atmospherics. That way I can run a lot of this piping up straight up to the atmospherics area. Out here, I might have the wall on the second floor in a different place. We'll have to see. I'm thinking things like the battery room. That one probably doesn't need to be too big, because with no storms, there's no need to have a huge battery supply. I'd like to do that on my my Europa base, I think. Oh man, I can't remember how many batteries I have, but it's real nice, because then I can soak up all that power from the storm, and I don't really need much after that. Okay, that's got to be dead by now, so let's go ahead and vent it, or cold, not dead. It's really disappointing if there's a bug in my gas fuel generator code. Oh, you know what? Rather than steal, I was going to steal that APC, but rather than steal that, let's just print a new one. I switched that off to conserve a little bit of power. Yeah, because it's the power we're getting is probably from the sun, and that's pretty minimum. So yeah, just to get things going, I'm gonna steal you. Looks like I don't have a great place to put this, so we'll just put it right here. Oh, and yes, you do sometimes have to be careful about charging something with like a nuclear battery and an APC. You don't want to risk having it connected to a regular cable coil. You want to be sure to do a heavy cable coil. I think charging one is just fine, but if you have other power draw on that network, that's where you can really run into trouble. Okay. Let's print another, print that APC so I can replace the one in the entrance to the pressurized area. Okay, I was hoping that I could pressurize the manufacturing area, but I think we'll have to wait for another episode since we're having power problems, and I threw out all my frames over here. I'm not going to do all of that, placing all these frames and welding them up on screen. I'm going to do that off screen. I guess if anybody thinks that I should do that on screen, I guess drop me a comment, let me know. It just seems to me that something like that would be pretty boring. I'm just keeping myself busy here. I'm gonna weld up all of these 2 tiers because, as I said, yep, we're gonna make this pressurized area pretty soon. But yep, off screen, I'm gonna debug the gas fuel generator. We'll see what's wrong with that chip. That's so strange because it seemed to be working before. This seems all right. I've tested it a few times, and I'm since it's new, I'm sure to watch to make sure it doesn't leave stuff on, because that's how I noticed the problem that I fixed with that code there. It was leaving the ice crusher on, even though it turned off the. Oh, did it print that? Oh, printed 2 power controllers. Good, good. I didn't finish my thought. Sorry about that. Hopefully it was self-explanatory. Oh no, I don't need that on. Okay. So yeah, next episode, I'm gonna pressurize some areas. I'm gonna print a whole bunch of frames. I'll do kind of the general layout. Basically, I'm probably going to encapsulate everything that we have so far. I don't think I'll go out to the trade area yet, but I will get this entrance done, this entryway, because I want the lockers that I'm going to place up here, because these crates have to move, and I may as well move some of this other garbage out of here. Or I'm probably going to have a different solution rather than just leave it in lockers. I'll probably do vending machine or vending machine and silos, combination of the two. But for now, yeah, we're going to have to rely on lockers to get us by. All right, we'll catch you next episode.